Hey, good morning, Firman family. Jason from Firman Power Equipment here. It is a hot Tuesday morning here in Phoenix, Arizona. So I wanted to talk to you about the event that we did over the last weekend. We were up in Flagstaff, Arizona, and we were at the Overland Expo. We've been talking about that event for a little while, and it went great. We got to host people at our trade show booth outdoors. Gorgeous up in Flag. It was 70 degrees and blue skies and a little bit windy a couple of days, but everything stayed battened down. Luckily, we have big heavy generators that we can tie our easy ups to, but it was a great show. The overlanding community is so passionate about what they do. They're a bunch of folks that are into off-roading, but not just off-roading. They've set up their Jeeps, their Forerunners, their converted vans and ambulances, and everything you can imagine, where people want to get out into the wilderness. They want to roam around and be out in nature and camp at the edge of a lake and be in the woods or be at the beach. And there's people that do that recreationally, where they might go out for a weekend or a week, and then there's people that do that full time. We met tons and tons of full-time RVers and full-time van lifers, and boy, what a neat and fun lifestyle these people have. They're just kind of all over the place and really live wherever they want to live. I think in our modern time where lots of people can work remotely, it's kind of opened the door for people to have a kind of a non-traditional way of living. So instead of renting an apartment or buying a house or and settling down somewhere, people really have the flexibility now to be mobile. And we met so many people that just are really enjoying life. And so part of that is being able to have power. They need to be able to power their laptops and their cameras and their cell phones and all the things that you need, even when you're on the road. There's lots of different options there. There's people using batteries. There's certainly people, we talked to a lot of people about our new energy storage solution, our Zero E. People are excited about that. But then a lot of people too said, when it comes down to it, I just can't accomplish what I need to accomplish only on batteries. And so they're looking again at generators. We talked to a lot of people about using a smaller inverter generator like our 1700 watt inverters. This is our W01784. It's 1700 watts running, it's 2100 watts peak. What people love about this, and we showed, we demonstrated this running at the show, and just so people could see just how quiet it is. It's only 54 decibels, which is really, really quiet. I mean, if it was running right now, and we're not going to run it because we're inside the studio, but if it was running right now, you wouldn't even notice it. They just kind of purr along. They make 1700 watts, which is plenty for all the things we just talked about. It's plenty of power to be able to charge batteries, charge your cell phone and your tablet and your laptop, and even a lot of people now are using portable refrigerators where it looks like a cooler, but it's a refrigerator and in most cases also a freezer. Those things typically run on 12 volts. So having a 12 volt cigarette lighter style adapter plug right here in the 1700 is pretty awesome. Or they've got an adapter where they can plug it into 120 and power that off of this inverter as well. So a lot of folks said, look, I just need to be able to run a generator, 2 or 3 hours a day, charge my batteries, be able to, get myself prepared for the next day. And these little inverters are going to do that really, really well. This one is super fuel efficient. Our 1700 watt inverters, they hold 0.9 gallons, and they'll burn through 0.9 gallons in 10 hours. So if you run a couple hours a day, you're hardly using any gasoline at all. So a lot of people in the Overland community loved this size inverter. But a lot of people also were talking about dual fuel. They're trying to squeeze a lot of gear into typically a pretty small space. They're squeezing into the back of a truck or into the back of an SUV or a van. And so, space is a premium. So a lot of these folks don't have the ability or really the desire to haul a gas can full of gas around. If you're van lifing or you're overlanding in a van, you really have just interior spaces. So putting a gas can inside your van really is not an option. You're going to smell it. You're also living and sleeping in this space. So not an option to haul gasoline around. But for a lot of people, the ability to run on propane is very attractive for all those reasons. Something I want to share with you guys that's kind of amazing is that we ran an inverter just like this one. We had it kind of right up by the tongue of our trailer outside at the Overland Expo. So the show was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday the show went from 8 to 5 for 9 hours. Saturday the show went from 8 to 5 for 9 hours, and then Sunday the show went from 8 to 3 for 7 hours. And we actually ran one of these on one 20-pound propane bottle the entire time. So 25 hours of runtime on just one 20-pound propane bottle. Now, we don't advertise that normally, but I wanted to talk about it because it did happen. I've got witnesses. But what was amazing about that is just runtime that we didn't expect. Now, given we weren't running an air conditioner, we weren't running a lot of appliances, probably we were running at 20 or 25% load. But all the things that we just talked about are kind of what we were doing. So we were charging our ZERO-E, which is our energy storage device, our energy storage solution. We were charging cell phones, and we had computers plugged in. About 4 or 5 hours each day, we ran a Pit Boss grill. So we ran a Pit Boss smoker, and we were charging an electric bicycle. So a lot of the things that you might use when you're camping or you're overlanding, or even, let's say, in a power outage when you just really need to power the necessities. Again, probably 20 to 25% load on this inverter generator, but 25 hours of runtime on a propane tank is absolutely incredible, and we were really thrilled to see that. So I wanted to share that with you guys. This is plenty of power to do all the things that we just talked about, powering all those devices and charging your energy storage solution. But it's also enough power, to run an air conditioner in your RV or your toy hauler or your camper, or in a serious power outage, if you're at home, be able to power your refrigerator and your freezer and your modem and your router. We talk about that all the time. That your internet's probably on, you just can't access it because your modem and your router are off. So powering all those things, and this is enough power to power a space heater, or probably even like a small window air conditioner or a mini split. So a lot of versatility with our dual fuel inverters. If you haven't checked that out, please do. They're available on our website. They're available on Amazon. We actually sell this one in Costco. So lots and lots of places to check out our dual fuel inverters. So let's talk about something else, changing gears a little bit. And it's something that we've talked about before, but it did come up. We were in Flagstaff, Arizona. We were up at about 6,000 feet elevation. So we're over a mile high. And normally, when we're here in Peoria, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix, we're at about 1,200 feet above sea level. So pretty low. And what I want to talk about is elevation and how it impacts running your generator or your inverter generator. And it's kind of a well-known fact in our whole industry, but it's really not something that people talk about a lot. And FIRMAN's a little bit different in that regard. For every 1,000 feet above sea level, you're going to lose about 3.5% efficiency. So what that means is for us running at 6,000 feet, we're losing over 20% efficiency running generators at that elevation, and that can be significant. I mean, if we're running this one and we needed to get all of the power out of it, this is a 3,200 watt running generator, 4,000 watt peak generator. So if we had this connected to our camper and we needed to run the air conditioner and the microwave and charge our batteries, and we needed every bit of that 3,200 watts, then what do we do? We're in Flagstaff. We're losing 20%. We're losing 600 watts, let's say. So that's a big deal. So what can be done about that is that you can rejet the carburetor. We did a video on this before, where Laramie, from our tech support team, showed us how to replace the jet in our FIRMAN carburetor. Megan's going to put a link to that in this video so that you can link over and watch that video. But yeah, the solution is that you call us, you reach out to FIRMAN at 844-FIRMAN-1. You're going to get one of our tech support people, and you just let them know, hey, I live in Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm at 6,000 feet, and I need to rejet my carburetor. They're going to send you off the jet kit for the elevation where you live. So all of our generators come jetted for 0 to 3,000 feet. We have another jet kit that's made for 3,000 to 6,000 feet, and yet another jet kit that's jetted for 6,000 to 9,000 feet. And essentially what's changing is that as you go up in elevation, the air gets thinner. So if you're using the standard 0 to 3,000 foot jet, and now I go up to Flagstaff at 6,000 feet, the air is thinner, so my generator is going to be running richer. It's getting more fuel than air in that fuel-air mixture. So by changing the jet and allowing more air in, I can get all the efficiency, all the power that I need out of my generator. It's a really easy thing to do. It's a really easy solution. We ship that jet along with some instructions that are printed out on how to do that. You can certainly watch that video that we're linking to and learn how to replace that jet. Now, there was a gentleman who came by the booth, and we were talking about this issue when we were up there in Flagstaff at the Overland Expo, and he said, well, I live in Prescott, and I'm at more like 4,000 feet. But sometimes I go up to Flagstaff, sometimes I go down to Phoenix. And so what I recommend for him and for people that kind of live in that mid-level, or let's say maybe you travel, so you live in Phoenix, Arizona at 1,200 feet, but you oftentimes go up to Flagstaff or you oftentimes go to Prescott where you're camping, and so you're at various elevations all the time. Well, you don't really want to be changing your jet all the time, so what you might do in that case is reach out to Firman, again, 844-FIRMAN-1, ask us for a jet kit that's going to be that mid-level, so that 3,000 to 6,000 foot jet, which means that you're not going to lose all of your efficiency when you're in Flagstaff, but you're also not going to have running problems when you're in Phoenix. You can kind of be middle of the road. So you're never going to run too rich, you're never going to run too lean, but it is a really good solution if you don't want to be changing your jet all the time, if you're traveling from different elevations all the time. So that can be a really good solution. Lastly, I want to leave you with a couple of interesting things that happened at the show. One of them was me and our IT director, Jeff, we were at the show and we were over picking up some burritos for lunch for our team, and we're at this food truck, and here's this guy, and he's sitting there on a chair, and he's talking to somebody on the phone, and he's talking about generators, and we can overhear him saying, I got the whole battery storage solution in my Jeep, and I've got my portable refrigerator in there, but the problem is he had solar on the roof of his Jeep, and he was counting on that to charge his battery fast enough, but it had been cloudy, and he was also parked in some shade, and he's like, it's just not happening. So now my battery pack is dead, and my refrigerator is getting warm, and my food's gonna spoil. I don't know what to do. And so we overheard that and eavesdropped and said, hey, we're the Firman guys. I think we can probably help you. And so we gave him a card. He came over to our booth, and what he ended up purchasing is one of our 1,700 watt inverters. And the guy came back later that day, and he's like, man, you guys saved all my food. What he was able to do is just go and plug his energy storage solution into our FIRMAN 1,700 watt inverter. He charged it just for 2 or 3 hours, which was plenty to get him the power that he needed. Got his refrigerator being cold again, got his frozen food frozen. I think there's a whole new kind of wave of technology going towards energy storage, and we're on that wave along with our Zero E that's coming out in July. But at the same time, I think there's no replacement for being able to just fire up a generator and get the power you need exactly when you need it and when you need and where you need it. Think about that as you're looking at different solutions. I think there's a lot of really great ways to combine solutions to really get all the power you need in all the places you need it. Looking forward to next week. We're going to DreamHack in Dallas. It's a huge gaming convention. So this is a new thing for us. We're going to be displaying our Zero E energy storage solution there. So we're very excited about that. At DreamHack, we're going to demonstrate how you can use your computer, a gaming computer that people take really seriously. There's esports teams at high schools. There's esports teams at colleges now. So this has become a massive, a thing that people are out there doing is playing esports on computers. At this event we're going to, in fact, they have a big competition, and the winner of that competition wins $250,000 for winning at a computer game, which a guy my age finds that totally strange, but that's what's happening. So one of the wonderful things about that energy storage solution that we have is that it can be used as an uninterruptible power supply, a UPS. So people can plug their computers into that Zero E, FIRMAN Zero E, plug the Zero E into the wall, and if the power goes out while they're gaming, they could be in the middle of a high stakes tournament, and if the power goes out in the middle of that, they continue gaming, their computer stays on, backed up by the power of the Zero E. So we're super excited about that. I'm sure we're going to do some live feeds with you next week from when we're at DreamHack. Should be a heck of a lot of fun. From what I understand, it's also a big cosplay thing, so it should be an interesting event. There's going to be a lot of people dressed up, a lot of superheroes running around, so we're looking forward to it. Thanks, everybody. We will talk to you again on Thursday, and as always, thanks for joining us. Take care.